Hello, and welcome to part 2 here in my little small series of me altering an old children's book. And I have chosen a theme with images of some different archaeological things. And I talk a lot more about it in part 1, and I will put a link below here under the little word more in the description box, and go and look for that before you perhaps see this video here, because there I tell you about where I got the images from and so on. So this is what this video will be about today. And just quickly, my name is Lisbeth. I'm Danish abstract mixed media artist who likes to do many things, and that is why my content here on my channel have so many different things. I like to do many different things, and I think the more you can do of different things, the fun, the more creative you perhaps will be, because you can mix them in all kinds of different ways, and I really like that. But you can look at the playlist and find what interests you, and skip the other things. And the last little beep beep I will say before we start working in my book is I have a Ko-fi account. So if you want to support my channel or my work with the challenges I'm doing on Facebook, you're more than welcome to do that. But in any way, don't feel obligated. That was just a little info. But let us look at what I have done since the last video. I made the first 3 spreads in the last video, and then I painted papers and showed you all different things about the paper. But I have been working a lot more here since, and I have 5 spreads left here in my book, and I think I can put them into this video. But I can show you what I have been doing off camera. And there was this spread, and I will also put pictures at the end of the video, so I will just quickly flip through them here. And all the images are all the old pictures from our National Museum's workfields booklets, and an old comb, and yeah, you can see what it is. Some jewelry, some shields, some pots, and yeah, I don't know what that is called, but yeah. And now there are 5 spreads, and then I started from the back. Yeah, I don't know why, but I thought that could be funny, and I really like this drawing here. It's so, yeah, well, nearly called cute, but so. There's this one with some flint axes and some of these, what was they called? Hyperoglyphs, I think it was. And some more of these things they could use to cut with and use for the axes and so. And there was a bracelet, I think, and this is the back. So I have these 5 spreads here to work on today, and let us just start here with the first one and see what happens. So these are the 2 images I want here on this spread, and this is a bee cube. Yeah, I don't know if that's the name in English, but it is coiled, and we kept bees in these in the old days here in Denmark, handmade. And this was like a fishing net, but they were used for catching eels. And this is also, I don't think it's coiled, it's, yeah, I perhaps it is made of willow, and somebody has made it. But I don't know the technical terms for these kinds of things. That's not something I have been doing. Yes, I have been trying to do coiling, and that was very nice. So I need some papers in this ball game here, and let me see here. I have this little piece I can use, and then I have this jelly print here. Yeah, they are all jelly prints. So perhaps a piece of that here also, and I would say that that is enough. So the way I eyeball it or measure it is I need a little overlap here. And there's there now, and then I just crease my finger here and here, and then I know, yeah, I would just cut it a little bigger, or cut it or tear it. And isn't that a nice sound? And again, I will just put that over there and there and say that is enough. So I will just again put my ruler there. And I have a big stack of papers. Yeah, you should see my table here right now. I have papers all over, but this is the way I'm working. And then there is this piece here, and I need a straight edge here. And how much can I cut off? It's, yeah, I don't think I can cut much off. So I will just eyeball it like this. And I don't want the text here, so I will tear that off also. It's a quite strange paper to tear into this. Yeah, it's soft and a little hard at the same time. It's like it has a coating on the top of the paper. There and there. And again, I need a straight edge up here. And here I will just eyeball it. I have the text line to cut after. And I won't do anything there. That I can cut off when I'm done. So this is the way I will place my papers and glue them down. And then I perhaps will do a little more of something. Then there, this side here, I have to do the same. I want my this bee cube there. So again, I need to straighten this out a little. Yeah. And I don't want the text there. So again, I will straighten that out. And then I will tear this edge here, because I like torn edges, but I think it is nice with a match of straight and torn edges. That gives it more interest, I think. So there, this will be, and I have this piece, but yeah, that isn't long enough. So I will have to find a little snoot of something. And yeah, I have this long yellow thing here. Yeah, I could glue that down also. I think that is enough. Tear this edge here. There and there. Yeah, it nearly fits, but I can do something all the way along that line. But I will rumble a little around more with this. But this I can quickly show you how I glue them down, because then I have showed you how I do it, and then I won't show you for the last spreads how I glue, because it isn't that interesting with all this gluing. But of course I have to do it. And again, I just use a glue stick, and this book here is for my own amusement, and I have a lovely time making these books here. I've made several with several other subjects, and when I'm done, I will look at it once in a while. But I don't care if some of the pages slip a little in the corners or not is totally... Yeah, if I was selling my books, I would use archival things and be a little more careful about what I'm doing, but this is just for my entertainment, so I don't think it matters, and my pieces won't end up in a museum, so no troubles here. Again, I will have torn the edges and I will just put glue on, but of course don't be frugal with your glue stick. It needs glue. And I have this is some of the old pages I had torn out of the book when I altered it. And you have a few seconds you can slide around with it before it sits. And I also like to have an old cloth, or you can use an old credit card or something to really burnish it down, so I know it sits there. And then here, the last piece. I think I sound a little rusty today, perhaps. And I will also say I'm sorry for my black nails some places. I was out teaching yesterday evening, and we were doing something with inks. And some of these inks has to be worn out or off. It's not enough just washing your fingers a lot. So sometimes I look like somebody who has dig my old grandmother up, but I haven't. And I can see there's missing something there, but that we can do something with. And when it is quite dry, I just take my scissor and then I cut the edge along the edges here, and that is very easy. There. I have one page somewhere here in this book where I did cut a little of the corners off here, but yeah, that shit. Oh, sorry, that's what happens. Don't say the S word. I know when I'm talking my own language, Danish, I do some swearing sometimes, and it's a bad habit. And many of the words we use here in Denmark when we say bad things are in fact in English. And yeah, but that is another story. So now it's cut clean here and here. That is what I will do, but I think I will paint something there or do something more. But I think I will wait with that until I have glued this side on. And when I've done that, glued this side on, I will be back. So now everything is glued down, and I put a little piece of pure gold paper. I was trying to clean my jelly plate because I'm using soft pastels and charcoal on it, and there's a lot of grunge, and I kept on cleaning it, and I ended up with this pure gold. And since there's gold there, I have torn a strip of it out there, so I think I will also put a strip here so they yeah, not match up, but looks nice together. So again, just there and there and there. And I don't know if you have noticed it, but I try to put my papers a little away from the crease, and that's the reason why I do that. First of all, I don't let my papers go all the way over, because it is copy paper. If I only was using tissue paper, that is a very thin paper, I could do it, but with copy paper it will tear at some point, and if I go too close to the crease and you do it like this, it will curl up here. So it is better to have a little room here, and you can always paint it if it bothers you that you have this light area here, but it doesn't bother me. Rather that than my papers is curling up. And then I need to do a little nursing here, because I don't like that it's a white spot there, and I don't like that white spot there either. So I will just take my trusty Caran d'Ache and go in some places. And here it's okay, because that is what it looks like. But here we can give it a little. So my water brush there, it has a reservoir where there's water in, and then I can just go like this, and then all your small white spots disappear there. And you can do this as much or as little as you like. What else do I want to do? I think I want to write some asemic writing down the line here. So I will find a marker here. Turn my, yeah, it is not probably easier to turn it this way here. Now I will just write something, and pardon me, I ain't talking while I'm doing it, because if I had to write something and I know it's unreadable when I'm done, I have to say something in my head. It can be a poem or an old Beatles song or whatever comes into my mind when I'm doing it. And that way I can write along the side here. But I can't talk at the same time, sorry. So like that. So it has a little extra here, and you can see it looks like that, and I even can't read it, but I like the look of it. Sometimes I can do it for instance, all this here, and then I can write this way, and then it ends up like in it's a pattern instead, but just another kind of pattern. So I will say this spread is done. So let us do the next. So these are the two next images, and it is some old glasses. And again, I will tear them out so they fit there and there. And I want to place them there because, yeah, I often do it opposite. When if I have something up here in this spread, the next spread I will put it down here. And this could go either there or there. I think I will let it be out here. So this is the way I know I want these places placed. And then I have this old something. I think I have it's something I have been doing with something through a stencil. And if it was not soft pastels, the other creamy ones, oil pastels, and something with a stencil I have. I think color-wise it looks very nice with this. So I think I will tear this strip off and place my glass like this, and it will fit a lot of it. So I just missed something down there. And here at this side here I have This jelly print I think I would put up here. Color-wise it looks nice with that. And this is something from an old envelope. Some, I think it is handmade paper of some kind. And color-wise I also think it looks nice. This is perhaps a little dark because the background there is dark. So when I've torn it out and placed them, I think I will start gluing this one down first. Then I can see what I want there. But it's a little difficult to see here when I'm sitting with such a big piece here. But I will cut this out and glue these things down and figure out what I will put there. And I will be back when I've done that. So now all is glued down, but I think it is a little, let me see here. It's a little weak or pale, or yeah, I don't know what word to say. Yeah, I can cut this off after. I think it needs a little more of something. And I have this little strip here. Another thing that perhaps bothers me a little here is this size and this size and this size. These two are nearly the same sizes, and I don't like that. I like them to be different. So I have this here. And I really think it gives it, now it's suddenly, there's more oomph on it. So I will glue that down on here. And here are a lot of patterning happening. And I really think this piece here speaks very nice to the pattern on the glass. So I think I will only go for a black line all the way down here. But there I have found this, I will just remove my book a little. It is just ordinary gold paint. I have painted on totally normal, cheap tissue gift paper. And if you take your water brush, you can peel this off, and it is fraying very, very nice here. And I will also do it in the middle here, and remove it in the middle. Oops, and now I break it, and that wasn't the meaning. A little more water on. Yeah, you need a certain amount of water, not to ruin it, but I think it's okay. And now you have this piece here. I think it's because I have glue on my fingers from all the gluing I have been doing. So I think I will just wipe them off here before I do anything more damage. So now you have this piece. And then in the best of worlds, I would have used matte medium, and then I would glue it down here because then you can't see the white of the paper, as you can see now. But I will just, right now I will just use my glue stick. I think that's okay. But if it was something more valuable or precious than for this here, I would use matte medium. And you can see now I put this, so this strip gets smaller than this one, and that is fine by me. And again, oh, I have a lot of glue here in my fingers, and the tricky part is to use a glue stick on this here and not ruin it. So I will just lift it off, and then I will place it here in the middle. Yeah, it is ruined a little there, and you can really squeeze it in. And again, if I just put this here on my finger and massage it in, the white will nearly disappear. Also because it's such a light background I'm putting it on. If you have been using matte medium, it would have go totally into the paper. So I think there was not enough glue there. But you can see that really gives it something extra, and you can sometimes you can use your nail here. I can perhaps I will find my matte medium and give it a layer here while it's drying, and I'm off to have some lunch. My stomach is rumbling now. But the last thing I just want to do is go for a black line all the way down here. And again, I will just take my water brush. I don't know if I will make all 5 spreads here. I think already my video is so long as a bad story. But this is how it ended up, this spread here. And you can see these small things does that it gives it becomes more to life than the plain yellow thing before. But I will start another one. So the matte medium here is dry now, and it is sitting there nicely, and you can hardly see the frayed white paper there. And it's because I've been eating lunch and just had it lying here for drying, it is curling here. But as soon as I start here, it will lie flat again. So these are the 2 pieces I will be using for this here. And both of the pieces are some carved animals from Greenland. And this is a bear figure, and this is, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but I think they are made of, not a sea lion, but the other bigger one of that kind of animal. In Danish it is called in Valros, and I think it is nearly the same in English, but I'm not quite sure. But it's cut out of they had 2 big teeth, the big males, and they are enormous big, these deers. But I will use these 2 here, and since I was starting down here on this page, yeah, you can guess I will put this one up here and this one here, or the other way around. That I don't know yet. But I again will find some papers I think look nice. Yeah, let us just say they are going to sit there, so not so much. So that, oops, that was my, I don't think I tumbled you around here. I have a wire with power here on my phone, so I not run out of battery or on power. So I will just take that off there, because yeah, that is fine. And again, I will tear this. There, and don't cut that off, because I can cut it off when I know how big I want it. And I think I want to cut a little more, or tear a little more off. Yeah. So, and here I will do the same. I just had a nice lunch. I don't eat anything before 12 o'clock every day, and not after 7 o'clock. That has been going on for many years. And when I'm here at home, I also eat my porridge first, and then my hobby has just been, we have every Thursday here, we have a fishing car coming, and they are selling fresh fish. So here was some, I think they are called fish cakes, and oh, that was yummy. So that is what I had for lunch today, with mayonnaise and these small green ones. They're not olives, but yeah, what are they called? It is called Casper, eller yeah, Casper in Danish. So now they are there. And what can I come up with? I have this piece of paper I really think look nice here on one of them. And I have this piece here, but it's too small. And color-wise, perhaps it is better here. And this one is perhaps better there. There. And then I have this really orangey one here. But I think it could need a little oomph also. So I will just, yeah, fingers in your ears. It's nearly like tearing fabrics. I will just remove this wire here, or this, so it isn't in my way. Yeah. Oh, that looks and there and there. And then I need a strip of something in the middle. And do I have anything left here? Yeah, I have this one here. Yeah, I will go for that. I will glue these 6 papers down, and when I have glued them down, I will see what more to do with the spread. This is the way I work. I know other people make 1 page at a time, or perhaps they just do it by putting 1 piece of paper down, and then next paper they found, and then they find another paper and glue down. But because there's the book has this subject of old things in it, I like to audition my pages so I know they will look nice. But there are many other ways you could have chosen to do this. But I will glue them down and be back. This is how my working table are looking right now. And there you can see my book is, and all my gears and equipment I'm using. And some more papers out there, and yeah, not more there, but up here also a whole stack of all sorts of things. And I think if somebody dropped a bomb, it would be like cleaning. So, but you can't do anything without having a lot to work with. And then you must clean when you're done and enjoy the mess while you're working. Oh, this is glued down, and I want to give it a little more. So I found this little strip here, and I think now all the edges here is torn. So I think I want to use that. And I know it's nearly in the middle, but in this case it doesn't bother me. So this I will just glue down here. Normally, as I had said many times, I don't like my things to be in the middle, but it would have been there if it should have been in the middle. So that is fine there. And this crumpled paper here, when you get so old as I am, and here in our house we have a little hard time sometimes keeping track on what day it is, because you aren't going to work anymore. So every Sunday my hobby is going to the local baker and buy some bread, so we know it is Sunday. And he has another habit, and that is every Friday evening he always drinks a Guinness, because then he did that when he went to work. So that was to indicate that now the weekend was starting, and he has continued with that after he stopped working. So it is nice to have such, in Danish we call it hygge, or hyggelige, or some cozy habits or things you do to keep track of things. No, that was a side note, but as you saw in the little clip before, I have a lot of this scrap alloy here on my side, and I found this little strip, and I think it would look nice here. And I perhaps even think it is torn off there, but yeah, I think it could need benefit from that little extra strip there. And I don't mind the white edge there, but I have some places there I don't like very much, so I will go in again with my Caran d'Ache, and they really are good, these Caran d'Ache. I'm not paid to say that. They even don't know I'm using them, but you can use them so you can use them and don't put water on them, and you can put water on them, and then it looks like that. And yeah, for me it really is a nice thing to help some of your jelly prints that just needed that little extra, or if you have a white spot somewhere. Yeah, I think I want a black line also there, so I again will take my Stabilo all, or if you have a Stabilo woody, and I can see I need to sharpen it. It is quite flat here now. There, and just go over it there. If you perhaps think it is a little vague, you perhaps cannot see it, you can always take a very, very thin marker and go in. Yeah, there isn't much power in this one, but it is perhaps nearly empty, but then you can go in and just give it a little more definition if you want to. But please take care that your papers are totally dry. I've ruined so many Posca pens and other markers because I is impatient and go in before the surface is dry, and that is not good. Yeah, let us say this spread is done. So I will smack that down and put that there, and then I will find out what the next will be. These are the two images, and I will put this one up here, but I don't think I will use all of it here. I think I will just use half of it, and I think I will use this side here. So I will just tear that and save that for another time. And again, I will tear this off here. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong way, but I can perhaps put it this. That was stupid. Yeah, I think it can work. There and there. And this one is crooked. There. And this was a roll-off sheet of some kind, and I just divided it in two. And I really like this one here. So I will put that up here, and the little comb down here. And I will have to find something there. Perhaps this stripy piece could be good for that. away with that, and yeah, I think that looks nice. Perhaps I will have a straight edge there, and then this is torn. I think I will cut the red off here. So this is the way I will glue this down, and see afterwards what we can do with it. And the other 3 combs up here must be there, and this has to go here. I think the darkest one I want in the bottom, so I want something there, and yeah, that's not enough, but I have all this. I think I will just try a strip of the pure gold here, and you can see I'm changing between using my scissor and my ruler and tearing. Yeah. Like that and that and that over there. But I'm not sure I like the white edges here. So let me see if I can remove them. Yeah, that was better. And there and there. So this is the look or design or this audition I will go for in this spread. So again, I will glue it down and be back and show it to you. So all these papers are glued down, and yeah, of course it needs a little more. And I have this leftover strip here from there. And you can see that is what I mean by if I get too close to the crease here, it would lift. And that is, yeah, you would just have to give it a little more glue. But that's what happens when you get too close to the crease over here, or this gutter or in the spine here. Yeah, so I think I will put that on here, there, and there. So that got a little extra there, and this I can also just cut off there, and again I can finish it down here. So that's fine, and perhaps a black line there, and I have been sharpening this one here. And again my water brush there. And here I had a little slip because I had to, not so the combs would go crooked, I had to miss some of the paper there. So again I will take here my Caran d'Ache and give it a little paint there and there. And again come in with my Caran d'Ache, but just clean it from the black here. And nobody can see that's missing there. They are amazing, these Caran d'Aches, to do this kind of work here. So this spread, no, you can't hardly see the black line here. I think perhaps it is better to put it here. You know, it's a woman's right to to have an opinion about something and then change your mind. So yeah, I think there's too much glue to it can hang on. But there, I want something there, and I have several of these small bags where I can't remember. There are some different round things in here. So I can just see that's too pale. Yeah, that could work. That's too pale. That's too black and white. Yeah, this could work because it speaks to that color there. And then I can go through all the things I have here, and these are too big and these are too big. So in with the ones here in my little Ziploc plastic bag. So now the $100 question is, this gives it warmth and this makes it a little more cool, but it speaks to that one. So now I ask you, what should I put in? And sorry, I can't hear you. So I will perhaps have to decide which one. They could really work, both of them, but I think I will go with this one here. Also, there are so much of the other colors in this book here. So I will just give it a good amount of glue here and place it. Yeah, I don't think it matters so much, but there somewhere. And again, I will make a black line here. Let us see if this one has dried so much. So there. And my water brush. It isn't much with these black lines, but I really think it makes a big difference. So this is how this spread ended up. So only one more to go, and then my book is done. Oh, sorry, I forgot to hit this recording button here. But this is how far I am with the last spread, and the last two images are some, not columns, pillars, some sandstone pillars, and this image is in fact from the church in the nearest biggest town here where I live, Roskilde, and they have a cathedral there, and these columns are from in that side, that church. But I think I went so far as this, and I like it so far. So here I have to put a little of the top off, and take a little of the top off there, and then I have to also do something there. There and there. I don't hope I have pulled too much off. No, I think it is fine. And then I need, yeah, this is going to go down here. I need a little something up there. And the same here, this is a piece of this jelly print here. It looks like sandstone. And this and this, and then I think I will put a strip of this on here and go for that. And perhaps it can also go there. So let us see how that looks. It's quite funny. Here, these two papers are overlapping that, and for me it looks like you're drawn into something there. If I, for instance, put this over here, like I often do, it looks quite different. But in this case here, in fact, I think it looks quite nice that way. And when I am gluing it down, the way I will mark it is I will just take my pencil and then I will say there and there. Yes, then I know I have to put it there. So that is one way. So I will glue all these papers down also, and then I can show the spread to you. So all the papers are glued down, and I found another little round thing of these. And now perhaps I can show you instead. Here I have some fluid matte medium in here, and I'll just use my index finger because I don't have a brush here by me I can use. And then I just tip it down and do it like this, and you can see all the edges are disappearing. So that is that. And then I found another little piece that was only black and white, but I've just give it a little of my Caran d'Ache, and I want to place it there, so it also has a little something something. There. It reminds me of some stones, stepstones or stones. So this has to dry, but while it's drying I can also come in here with this. Yeah, what color is it? It's an old one, so salmon pink. And there I want another one. I think this one. So again, I will take my water brush. I can see I forgot to cut it, the edge clean there. I can also just do that. So that is that. I don't think this need any more of this spread, but I want a black line here. And wipe my water brush off from orange and pink. There. I think this spread is the most different one color-wise than some of the other spreads, but that's okay. And then I need to cut this one off here. Yeah, that's fine. So this has to dry before I can do anything more, and it takes a couple of, a quarter or 10 minutes or so, then it will also be so dry. But there I have also not cut it. What? I will cut it and then I will let it clean. I let it dry and then I will figure out what to do with the front and the back, because I know I don't want it to be turquoise when all the rest has another color inside. So I will have to do something about that. And I will find the color and show you what I will do with that. So now it's so dry so I can work further. And as I have addressed this a couple of times, this color, I think it's a lovely color and I like it, but compared to all the things that are here in this book, it looks wrong. So I looked at what I have. Now, of course, I can dig out my Queen Archeological Nickel Azo Gold from Golden, but I also find that have bottle of this fresco tint, and I think I perhaps will try. I know it looks quite red, but I've just, yeah, perhaps I should start on the back side if I don't like it. And right now my book also it needs to be under some heavy pressure at one point, because when I close it, it's okay, but because it is so, there's so much in here, so perhaps it looks like it will be like this, but I think it's okay. No, that was another thing. I will just try to squeeze this out and see what it looks like when I give it a cover of this. For me, it looks perhaps more like tomato juice color. And if I like it, no, I can still see too much of the turquoise. I think there's not enough pigments in. I will find another one. So I will use one of this very precious thing. You can't buy them anymore. They had made a thing that looks nearly the same, but I will try to use that instead and see if I like that better. Yeah, that is much better. It turns really orangey. Whoops, and there was my finger going into that. Yeah. And right now I don't know if I want to keep this the way it is, or I also will go over it. A small drop goes a long way here. Yes, that was much better. So I will do this with the rest of the cover and let it dry. And then I will take some close-ups and kiss you proper goodbye for this video here. So this is how it ended up, and yeah, I like it better than before, but if I of course wanted to see the lines in the paper, and when I put a translucent orange over some turquoise, of course I will get a green look in somehow, so it turned out a little greenish some places, and yeah, it must be like this. I don't think I can, yeah, I can paint it so I totally cover it, but that is also boring, I think. So I will just let it be as it is here and say that this was a learning process. The back side isn't so bad as the front side, I think. But yeah, it ended up like this, so let us make a quick flip through. And when I do that, there's always something I think, oh, I can come in and do this, and I can come in and do that, and nobody can say prevent me from that. So perhaps I will do that, but right now I think it's mostly done. And I really like the color scheme here in this book, and some spreads I love more than others, and so it must be. I like that some of them has a matte chalk finish, and then there's some pure gold, not pure gold, but gold color. And this was what I was doing today. These next 5 here and this one here, and you can see it's dried totally clear. These are a little dark perhaps, so I think here I will find something and go over the lines of them. And then one with the combs, and so the last one with the pillars. And this is also dry now. And this spread I really like with the deers. I think there are 20 spreads here in my book. And the petroglyphs here. And some flint tools. And there's the back side. And there's the back side. And I would let it stand here and dry for a little, and when it's dry some more, I would close it and put some heavy books under. And if you have troubles with pages gluing themselves together, because acrylic paint very much like to glue themselves together, take an old white candle or something and just rub it with it. You won't see it, but that would prevent the pages to stick together. So I will take some close-ups at the end, not close-ups, but pictures of the single spreads. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. For me it has been a party making this book, and time has just flown by while I have been working on it. And of course you can choose any subjects you want to put in these books and enjoy what you're doing. So I don't think I will say much more. I have talked so a lot here in the video, so I will only say if you like what you have been seeing, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be very much appreciated, and thank you for that if you're doing it. Also, you can hit the notification bell so you get notifications when there are new videos coming up. And also give me a comment. I really like to be in touch with my viewers here on YouTube. And last but not least, I will say, please be playing all your life and create things, do things you like. That is good for our mental health. And also I would say, take care of yourself and please be nice to everybody. That was all for this little 2-part video here with me altering an old youth book with images from our National Museum's booklets all the way back to the 1930s. So bye bye for now, and please take care.